Hey guys, Merry Christmas! Welcome back to the 4th episode of Create This Book 2 with an evil twist. One person in particular has been eagerly waiting for this, so here we are. This one's for you, Ada. Or Ada. So the first page says, create a scented page. Use this page to capture your favorite scent. A lot of people like the smell of flowers and such, but as for me, I like the smell of coffee in the morning. It smells like coffee. I don't really know how else to describe it, but you know what I mean. In fact, coffee and Irish Spring soap are two of my favorite smells. But I wasn't about to draw soaps. Not today. So I started off by drawing some monsters. These might be familiar faces, I've made them in previous videos. I drew Boo Boo.
Where are my presents?
She's stuck in like one of those cups you can get at Starbucks. I wanted her to look like she's trapped in the coffee cup and trying to break out.
Let me out.
Unfortunately, she won't be biting anyone's face off today. Boo Boo is very little, but she's very strong. She'll rip your arms right off if she gets the chance. I guess she's not strong enough to break out of her plastic coffee cup, though.
Go figure.
And of course you can't have Boo Boo without her honey, so I then drew Honey with a glass of coffee. I don't know who drinks coffee in a glass, but apparently Honey does. He's always inside something, a mug or a sock. But this time, instead of having him just lounging around like the couch potato he is, I drew him stirring the coffee. For once, he's not looking so scared. He's actually looking rather happy. Boo Boo's trapped in her cup. She can't get out, and Honey's looking rather happy for the first time in forever. Coincidence?
Of course not.
Then I drew the fat pig with a double chin. You remember? The cannibal one?
Help us! Please don't let it eat us!
I'm Peppa Pig.
Or maybe you don't remember, he's kind of a lost relic. He's inside one of those glass espresso things, face first with his butt sticking up in the air. He's looking really unhappy about this whole scenario. So far so good. You may be a little shocked, but I'm not using Posca pens right now. They're actually Copics. But I'll bring back the Posca pens in a second. I used a variety of mediums in this episode. You'll see. No colored pencils this time though. I can still never get those to work right. I can't deal with the splotchiness. Instead of drawing everything on one page and gluing that whole thing in, I ended up cutting out each character and separately gluing those in. They're more like little stickers. There's not really a reason why I did things differently for this page. I guess I was just experimenting. I originally planned on staining the page with coffee, but I don't know if that would warp the page or attract ants, so instead I faked it with a brown chalk pastel. I was trying to make the backgrounds a bit more colorful for this episode. I basically just scrubbed it on there and moved it around with my finger. I tried using different shades of brown to make it look more realistic. Not that it looks realistic or anything, but yeah, that was the intention. In order to really drive the whole coffee theme home, I added some coffee beans all over the page, accompanied by some coffee spills. Those white things are highlights, by the way, just so you can clearly tell that it's liquid and not some gross brown solid stuff. In order to keep the chalk pastel from getting everywhere, I used some matte Mod Podge to seal the page. Anyways, moving on. The next page says, create a page of lyrics. Write the lyrics to a song here. Okay.
For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. So bring it out here.
I guess now's a good time as any to insert the most hilariously annoying song in the world. The lyrics that immediately popped into my head were, "Oh my god, Becky."
Look at her butt.
I don't know. I don't even listen to that song. It's just forever stuck in my head. This of course made me think of the reverse centaur because her dump truck in the back is just so big. It's just so round. It's like out there. So that's who I drew. This time around though, I made it just a bit more subtle. I used watercolor to paint the sky and the grass. It's supposed to be a very beautiful, scenic backdrop for the reverse centaur. I wanted her to look like she's majestically frolicking through a field of flowers. Now, if this doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. I was going for that postcard type look, the ones that have those really pretty nature pictures. If you're wondering why her nose looks like that, it's because this reverse centaur was created in a My Little Pony doll makeover episode, and those ponies don't even look like horses. They have these weird pointy noses. I didn't want to change the way that she looks, I just wanted to make it look as much like the original sculpture as possible. If you're not watching those My Little Pony makeover episodes, you're missing out on quality stuff like this. Honestly, my finest work. This is the point where I started to take art seriously. I don't mean to brag, but there's just something so breathtaking about this page. I just can't put my finger on it. I've done it again. I feel like it almost gives off that Bob Ross vibe.
Almost.
There isn't really that much going on in the drawing, you just kind of stare and admire the reverse centaur's beauty. Wow. Her beauty has no bounds. So much so that Metal Underpants has even gone so far as to confess to be in love with the reverse centaur. Everybody's got their preferences.
I guess.
After gluing that in, I shifted my attention to the second page. I started off by painting it a really cool light blue color with some acrylic paint. I kept a paper towel behind the page just so that the paint doesn't bleed through. And then I proceeded to add some clouds. I wanted it to look like a beautiful sky to go with the scenic themes of the page that I just did. I tried to blend in the lyrics with the clouds. My handwriting is subpar at best, but at least it's somewhat legible this time. The K in Becky just blended in a little too well with the clouds, but you know I meant Becky.
It's always Becky.
If it's bothering you, maybe try not looking at it too closely. Hopefully that helps. Alright, cool. Next page. This one says, create
whatever.
Use this page to create anything you want. I figured I should do something Christmassy for the holidays, so here I am drawing Santa on a sled. His beard's kinda blowing in the wind and he's looking a little excited.
Concerned?
Scared?
All of the above. He's just chilling, having fun, avoiding responsibilities while sledding downhill, which may or may not be a metaphor for his impending doom. And then I drew a candy cane pole that says North Pole, since that's where you usually find Santa. Hey there. If you're new here and you've never been to the North Pole, nailed it. You should consider selling your soul to me by subscribing to my channel. Make sure you ring that bell icon and select all so you don't lose me on the internet or miss any videos. I post new videos
every Friday.
So anyways, hiding behind that candy cane pole is none other than the Spy Raccoon himself. Otherwise known as Secret Agent Trash Panda. For this whole episode, I really just recycled my already existing characters instead of creating new ones. Hopefully no one's too heartbroken about that. I did end up changing Secret Agent Trash Panda's face a couple of times. I just wasn't satisfied at first. After a couple alterations, his face was looking slightly better, I think. I wanted it to look like he was concentrating.
Just a little closer.
He takes his job very seriously. You can tell he's there on official spy business because, well, he's spying on Santa and he's holding one of those official-looking remotes.
Don't question it.
I didn't quite realize that he isn't wearing any clothes. That's embarrassing. But my excuse is that he's a raccoon, so technically he doesn't really need any clothes. Without his clothes, he kinda doesn't even look like the Spy Raccoon anymore. He just looks like a basic raccoon. But I guess that works since it can help him blend in with all the other raccoons in the North Pole. I did the sky in acrylic paint. I just stuck to purple since that's my absolute favorite. Also, I really wanted it to look like an evening sky. Then I painted the snow with a layer of white paint.
Overachiever over here.
I didn't really have to paint it white, but I went the extra mile just because I wanted everything to look nice and clean. There were some pencil marks and smudges that I wanted to cover up. I used a giant Posca pen to outline the hill and clean up and define some edges. The little white dots falling from the sky are snow. Hopefully that's obvious. I felt like something was still missing, so I added Trevor into the mix. That's what the blob is. It actually works out though, since there's no better person to terrorize the world with. Peeking out from the side like that, he's kinda looking like a hot dog sausage. What's done is done. Once Santa's gone, I'm sure Trevor will make the perfect replacement since he's already got the whole red part down. After a few more touch-ups, I glued it into the book. I later went back and added some more snowfall to the page and some shadows here and there off camera. But here's how everything turned out in the end.
I delivered everyone's presents. If you didn't get one, you were on the naughty list. If you want to be on the nice list next year, you can start by clicking on the top right.